Welcome everyone to this short yin yoga practice, which is done completely seated and for which you don't need any props. My name is Joelle, and let's begin by finding a comfortable seat to close the eyes, or just a few calm waves of deep breath in and out through your nose. Our first posture will be a half butterfly, so extending your right leg out at a diagonal, keeping the left foot in towards the groin, and you can simply place your palms flat to the floor in front of you, or you might begin to walk the hands forward, releasing the upper body here any amount, letting the head hang heavy, relaxing the shoulders, and inviting all of the muscles in the upper and lower body to just let go. So today's seated postures will be an opportunity to remain in contact with the floor, to not have to shift around too much. And this can also give us the chance to perhaps more closely check in with how the body is feeling. And if you had folded forwards, walking the hands back up, and before we take that posture on the other side, we'll come to full dragonfly by extending the left leg out. And this does not have to be a particularly wide straddle. You're welcome to bring the legs in closer together to find your edge. And again, you might just sit up tall with the hands supporting you behind the body, or you could walk forward any amount, and again let the head hang heavy. Keeping the legs and the feet really relaxed here. And these long hold postures in yin yoga give us the chance to go deep, not only physically into the connective tissues, but perhaps also in the mind as well. As we connect to the breath and connect to sensation. Very slowly here, inching the upper body back, straightening through the spine. And once you're ready, we'll find that half butterfly on the second side, pulling the right knee in towards your groin and inner left thigh, finding length in the spine to stay up tall, or perhaps finding your forward folds. Oftentimes a very different experience on the second side. You might find that you're going a little bit further, or perhaps not quite so much. Allow any sensation to come up in the here and now as you hold and breathe. And very slowly press the hands into the mat to lift your way back up. And before coming to our next posture, just bring both heels to the mat, widen the feet a little bit and rocking the knees side to side. Using this windshield wiper motion to release the hips and rebound from those deep stretches. And two options for our next posture. You can either come to a half saddle by keeping the left leg extended in front of you and bending the right knee to bring that foot next to the hip. Or if that's a little too much on the knee today, you can also take a deer pose, keeping both knees bent at right angles, with the right leg coming straight out from the hip. And if you are in that half saddle pose, you can experiment by perhaps leaning back onto the elbows, or you could also place the left foot flat. Yin yoga is all about comfortable discomfort. So feeling some intensity is what we're looking for, about 2/3 of your maximum, but it should never feel forced or painful in any way. If you were released down onto your elbows, you can lift your way back up. And whether you are in half saddle or deer, either way, taking a gentle twist towards the right. You might rest your left hand to your right knee or thigh, supporting yourself on the fingertips of the right hand behind you. And again, just closing the eyes here, allowing yourself to better notice, observe, and understand what this posture may bring up for you in body and mind. And returning your upper body to center, releasing that right leg, just give a little wiggle, little shake to those legs in and out, up and down, before we find the other side. So either with your half saddle, bending the left knee to bring the foot just next to the hip, or again finding that deer pose with the left leg bent at a 90-degree angle out to the side. And maybe you release onto the elbows, maybe you stay up tall. Option to flatten the right foot to the mat. Make the pose your own. And slowly lifting your way back up if you had lowered down. We'll find that gentle twist towards the left, softly resting the right hand anywhere that feels natural, and supporting yourself with the left hand behind the body. And remembering never to force or pull in Yin Yoga. This is just a gentle twist, finding that degree where the body naturally wants to stay for right now. And maybe finding that after a few deep breaths, that twist can deepen. And coming back to center, freeing up that left leg, shaking things out a little bit, softening the knees. And we'll find our full butterfly now, bringing the soles of both feet together and the knees out wide. Staying here for just a few breaths, observing what has taken place so far in this practice for you. And we'll find a little bit of a variation here. So leaning yourself over towards the left, bring the right foot flat to the mat. And you could rest your right hand on top of that knee, supporting yourself on the left palm or forearm. Or you might also like to simply lift that right arm up and overhead, letting it hang out in space. And you can simply let that right knee fall open, and it might not go very far, maybe just an inch or two. Again, this is a posture that might take a little bit of playing around with. In the beginning, we're looking for an opening in the right side body and into the hip. So feel free to shift about to find what works for you. If your right arm was overhead, you can bring that hand back towards the mat to press your way back up, finding full butterfly again, soles of the feet together, fluttering the knees up and down a few times. And then on your next exhale, we'll take that modification towards the other side, resting right palm or forearm down beside you, bringing the sole of the left foot to the mat, and that left hand can rest to the knee, or maybe somewhere on top of the right leg, or even reaching up and overhead, and just hanging out in space. And you do not have to take exactly the same expression of this posture as on the first side. Again, find your variation of the pose. Observe and breathe. Returning your left hand to the mat if it was lifted, to find a tall seat once more, and any comfortable seat here that works for you, so you can roll the shoulders back, maybe shake out the neck a little bit, keeping the eyes closed just to observe how you feel after this short practice on your mat. And then opening the eyes, inhaling to sweep the arms up to the sky, exhaling them down to heart center. I am so glad that you joined me today for this quick yin yoga practice, this taste of yin practice, as I sometimes call them. I do have many similar practices on my channel, all of which are linked to down below in the description box. And I would also suggest that you grab my Taste of Yin Yoga challenge so that we can enjoy some of these 10 to 20 minute short practices together. And that is the first link below. Thank you again, and I wish you a beautiful rest of your day.